Good morning. You guys are all quiet this morning. That music put you to sleep? Okay, let's wake up. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. I'm Sarah Benson, and we're going to start off with a couple of songs. And if you would like to stand, you're welcome to.
Hello, it's great to see you. Hey friend, you're not alone. Come in, our hearts are open. Welcome home. Come on, the Spirit's moving. Our love is here to grow. Wake up, our coffee's brewing.
Shining, and you sound fabulous. I hear the energy despite the fact that y'all had to spring forward this morning. Congratulations for being here. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in the heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. And I'm Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here. And it's just so exciting. I always find it interesting on Sunday mornings to see the colors that come forward. And this today was either turquoise and blue or this maroon. I see. So it's like two color schemes went out to the memo this morning. It's kind of fun. Anyway, welcome to anyone who's visiting for the first time. Welcome back for those of you who've been away and have come back. I would like to let you know if you are visiting for the first time, we have visitor packets at both doorways, and they have a gift certificate to the bookstore, so help yourself. And we will be having a board meeting today. Our wonderful board is gearing up for the annual meeting, so we're getting ready for that happening in May. The board meetings are always open, so you're welcome to stick around and join us if you would like. If you're potentially interested in maybe sitting on the board someday, you might want to sit in and just see how we function and what we do. So you're welcome to do that. We have another one in April before the annual meeting. And we will be starting our book study on community. That will begin on Thursdays from 4 to 5 on March 23rd. We're wrapping up this thing called U class, and then the next Thursday we'll start that book study. There's a sign-up sheet in the social hall, so please join us if you would like. And I will be setting up a Zoom because I have a few people from out of town who are interested in Zooming in. So we're looking forward to that. And the more open we get, the more things that start happening here at the center, the more service opportunities there are for you all that are part of this community. And some of those opportunities that we have right now are workers in the bookstore. Gretchen has been doing a fabulous job. Let's give her a hand. Thank you so much. She stepped up and has been covering in there on Sundays, every Sunday, and she is ready to start doing something else and being out and mingling with you also. We need people to help on Sunday mornings, and we would like to start opening during the week. We have the doors still locked, but when there's just one or two of us in the building, but we would like to start opening the bookstore during the week. To work in the bookstore, you do need to be a member, and then we will do a training. So let me know if you're interested in helping out there or on Sundays. And we also are still looking for someone who could help with a backup cleaning crew. Some ideas percolating, but our cleaning person had a family emergency and is going to be gone this next week. So we will need help next Saturday. I think I've got Wednesday covered. So we're looking for people, or if you have anyone that you know that might be interested in volunteer work, or I don't know, the board's going to have to talk about that today, how we might handle when our cleaning person is gone. But she's a team of one, and so when she's gone, we need backup, because we want this place to be perfectly clean and ready for you all on Sunday mornings for sure. And that being said, last week I talked about wearing several hats. I am now your practitioner in service. And I would like to remind all of us that we believe in the power of prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And we do have prayer requests in the chairbacks as well as gratitude cards. So let us know what's working in your life and present and let go of and release on the prayer request anything you would like our prayer team to pray over with you for the next couple weeks. The prayer team gets together every Tuesday afternoon, and that is consisted of people from all 4 New Thought centers here in town, the ministers, practitioner, teacher people, and we pray with you for whatever you present on that card. And after the service, we have 2 folks wearing their stoles. They are available to pray with you as well, and they are always available by phone, so you can give them a call if you would like any prayer support throughout the week. That being said, it is now time for song, silence, and prayer.
You are a work of art, a brilliant light for all to see, perfect in every part, heaven and earth in harmony. The beauty of your face reveals a life of grace. You are a work of art, a masterpiece. I am a work of art.
recognizing that in the silence we become deeply aware of our union with the Spirit, with love, with life that is moving in and through us and through all around us and around this entire planet and universe. We open our hearts and minds to what it is that is speaking to us today, and we come forward grateful, with grateful hearts, ready to receive the message, ready to receive the love that's in this room and the amazing music that we are experiencing. And so it is, as I said, with gratitude that we accept this, we take it in, we let it serve us and speak to us, and we take this love and share it beyond us out into the world. And so with gratitude, we release this time together as we say together, and so it is. And our reading today is from this month's Science of Mind magazine, and it is Words of Ernest Holmes. How true it is that we have searched everywhere. Yes, you and I have traveled far and near and searched high and low to find that something that can make us whole and give us joy. And seldom has anyone realized that the wonderful person we are looking for is really the divinity hidden within us. Isn't it true that even many of our success stories are weak examples of how we should imitate others? Do they really teach us that there is a deep self that does not have to imitate anyone? You can read Shakespeare all your life and never become Shakespeare. You can be familiar with all the poems ever written without being able to produce 3 verses that are original. You can imitate all the good actors and still give a poor performance. This alone should teach us that imitation is suicide. And Holmes is quoting Emerson there, we've learned in our class. There is but one way a person can learn to write, and that is by writing. There is only one way a person can learn to sing, and that is by singing. Learn how to live by living. You and I will have to learn how to live by living. We have lived too much by imitation, and now let's try a new experiment. Let's make up our minds that God, the supreme intelligence, has hidden within each of us the very essence of his own being, and let us alone to discover ourselves. And so it is. And so at this time, because our guest speaker is also our guest musician, I would like to introduce to you Yvette Trujillo, who has been a student of New Thought Principles for 25 years. She is a musician, religious science practitioner, and ministerial student. Yvette's mission is to reveal humanity's inherent compassion and loving kindness. Please welcome Yvette Trujillo.
I was very excited when I did the math, and it turned out I was been saying for over 20 years. And then I did the math, and I'm like, oh, it's been 25. I've been doing this for 25 years, so I'm happy to do. Okay, let's get started. The song is In This Moment.
I am free.
this moment I am free. Comic relief. Good morning. I hope that's okay. We're going to have a little chat today. We've been having a little chat about authenticity this month, which sometimes can feel, ooh, cool, and then, ugh. Because it sounds like the opposite of authenticity is I'm being inauthentic. We're going to talk about how that might not be quite so. So I want to begin by reading a quote to you from one of my favorites that I share Brené Brown with you all the time. So here's another one. Or maybe I've shared this one before. Actually, I think I have. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are. It's a rewind day. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. Letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. So this month, the month of March, we are talking about cultivating authenticity. And this week we are talking about removing our masks, the masks that we wear when we are engaging in the world that may be somewhat different than our original, whole, perfect God self. So, who do we think we are? Who do you think you are? Right? And we can ask that in one way, like, who do you think you are? But truly, who do we think we are? And that is developed. Who we think we are is largely developed in our formative years, right? What we're going through in life is the thing that begins to build us. And depending on the experience of your formative years, the building of that is like shining a light on you, and oh my gosh, everything that you do is just precious. Look at you throwing a fit on the floor in the middle of the grocery store. Oh, pumpkin, right? Some young folks get that experience. Some of us don't. And either way, that begins to elevate us and move us into our belief systems of what's valued and what's not valued, what's okay and what's not okay. So, for example, if you are a particularly rambunctious child, screaming at the top of your head, very excited, oh my goodness, Johnny, can you just please be quiet? Just for once. You know, your dad's sleeping. Hold it down. And there is a message, likely, if you're a child who's very loud and rambunctious, there are lots of opportunities for folks that aren't comfortable with that way of being to say, no, please don't be that way. Or, here's a fun one I got. You're so selfish. Don't be so selfish. Think of other people. I was the youngest child. And a girl, I don't have to share with anybody. I am sometimes what looks like selfish. But I was told I was selfish. And so I learned, don't be selfish. Don't put yourself first. Be compliant. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. Oh, we like good girls. We like good boys. You're so, well, that, especially if the opposite of that is like, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad girl, which comes out of folks not feeling comfortable, again, liking who we are showing up as children. And so there's the little molding that begins to happen. You're a good girl. Be happy. Just be happy. And now these messages are shared broadly across our culture, right? Like I grew up at a time when children should be seen and not heard. And actually, if you were not seen, that would be good too. So I grew up with that. And each individual, so these messages go out to us, and we will respond differently because we're unique human beings. So for me, I was very compliant. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I got into the workforce. Oh, yes, you told me that's how it's supposed to go, so it's going to go this way, even though I think I have a better idea of how to do that. I think that might be broken, but I was a good girl, and I was going to say yes and no to the people that were in charge of me, whatever they wanted. And why do we begin to develop these ways of being? Why do we develop these masks that we start to put over our loud, rambunctious, spirited, frustrated, angry selves? We start to put these masks on ourselves because when we are little kids, we need safety. And we know that. We need people to feed us. We need people to house us and to clothe us. And so we want safety. We want also acceptance and belonging. And so we have this genius little person inside of ourselves that's like, okay, I know in order to be safe, I have to be a certain way because I'm being told that the way I am isn't okay. And so I'm going to put on a mask to cover that thing that's not okay, that part of me that's not okay, in order to be safe, in order to be acceptable. And we develop really deep roots and habits for doing that. But our little kid is a genius, y'all. Even if you're standing here and feeling like, oh my gosh, I really want to show up as my true self, and that just feels really hard, your little self was protecting you from what it thought was danger. So I understand the frustration, but please, be gentle, because that little self was so smart, and it developed ways for you to get by in this world that felt safe. It protected you. So please honor that. And then what happens? You grow up and you've got these habits that you've built for, oh, here's this situation. I'm going to behave this way, not be too loud. Oh, here's this situation. I'm going to listen to everything you say and say, yes, I'll be compliant. Because we still want to be accepted and we still want to belong. And, our culture and marketing really dives into that, right? I have a habit of wanting to, look. This isn't quite just a habit of looking nice and looking a certain way. The habit is maybe looking younger than I am. Because they tell me this cream is going to do it for you, and you should look like you're in your 20s for the entirety of your life. You should be a size 2, always. I passed through 2. I didn't look back. But there are messages that tell us that we're not okay. And we are in this habit of assessing our environment to figure out where is the safety, where is acceptable, where is belonging. Even though it's not actually safety that we are getting. Because we don't need safety. We're grown-ups. We can create safety for ourselves. But that little Yvette is like, oh no, things are going to go really wrong. And because that little person doesn't get that I'm not in danger anymore. I don't need somebody to feed me. I don't need somebody to put a roof over my head. I can do that for myself. Or this is the kind of career you should have. I think I've shared with you all them. My daddy really likes the letters behind the names. And he has an idea of what success would look like, and I should go to school, and I should have a degree, and I should have, an advanced degree, and I should have letters behind my name, and I should climb the ladder and be at the top, and everybody who I work with should know that I'm the best at what I do. Now, my response to that, unlike, be a good girl, was don't tell me what to do. However, that can still be a mask. because I am reacting and responding, whether it's to think that I'm acceptable or that I belong or that I'm safe. There is another reaction that is just a fighting back, but it's a resisting that's too much and it goes beyond. So don't tell me what to do. I'm the boss of me. You tell me. I asked my dad what kind of car I should buy, and he gave me the rundown. I bought all the details. I bought the exact opposite. I wasn't planning on it. I was really trying to get his advice, and because he's very good at the research. And then I was driving around in my Cougar, leased Cougar, and I thought, wow, well, this wasn't what he said I should get, but it looks really cute. And we can grow into ways of acting in certain ways, right? Like I'm an academic, and so I act in a particular way. I behave, they expect me to act this way. Others in my field act this way. I'll be vulnerable with you. So I am a minister in training, yes? I don't actually fit what I've seen as ministerial, right? Like, I cuss. I have, edgy humor. And I have to admit that, you wouldn't do it from the pulpit, that just wouldn't be okay, but in other places where I am in that spiritual church environment, it gets toned down because that's not what I have seen as the example of what a minister should be. That's the key. When you start using that word should, that little bell go off in your head because should is a dangerous word. But we have these messages, the media feeds into it, and so we get really good at putting on our masks. And, for me, when I was a kid, I actually learned, or I thought I learned, that I could assess the situation. Oh, was my dad mad? Was my mom mad? How could I make them happy? What is it that I need to do that I'm not doing in order to fix that thing? So I thought I got really good at reading people. And so then I went out into the rest of the world and thought I could read people, and I was responding to them in the way that I thought they were thinking about me, which was entirely a fantasy because they weren't telling me anything. I made it up, but I was contorting myself and trying mask after mask after mask because I thought I knew what they were thinking about me, and it wasn't that they liked who I was in the perfect little precious sense that I am. I needed to change something. So back to the quote. Authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be, to embrace who we are. So let's go to authenticity is a practice of letting go. Letting go. I seem to always have that worked into my talks here because I recognize the faces. It's surrender? Letting go, yes. So at some point, we wake up. We begin to wake up. We start to get niggles of when I'm out in the world and I'm engaged, something just doesn't feel quite right. And we have this, what's that word? Dissonance. We have some dissonance, and life is still the same. We've been walking around doing the same life for years and years, and all of a sudden I'm getting really uncomfortable. What begins to happen for many of us, not all of us, is as we grow older, we begin to have a waking up of our true self. Right? The false self, as Father Richard Rohr talks about, it's the ego self, who's what we look like in the car we drive, and the people that we hang out with, and the drinks, the quality of the alcohol that we drink, whatever it is. It is ego-driven. What are people going to think about me? I need to make sure that they think the best about me. And many of us who do the kind of thinking that we do, who do this philosophy, who practice, and others who do deep dives, you begin to feel off. You just feel off. So you're waking up to your true self. And this is when we begin to realize that we have layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of masks, and behind us, like a wig collection, and I've got this one that I can pull on, and oh, look at that one, I want to be a blonde today. We have so many masks that we may have forgotten who at our core we actually are, because we've been doing this for so long. We've forgotten that perfect work of art, the masterpiece that we are. We came in as perfect masterpieces, and essentially we still are, but we've forgotten. And so now what we get to do, and yes, I did say get to do, it's wonderful, it's an opportunity, is to let go of those masks and begin to look for, it's like spelunking. It's the excavation of the soul. Go in and find that beautiful, perfect masterpiece that we have always been. It's a rediscovery. So first, let me go back, because I don't want to miss Ernie's quote that I did miss. It's one of those days. Ernest Holmes says, this is from Creative Mind and Success, page 31. There is something which waits our recognition to spring into being, bringing with it all the power of the universe. When we begin to open our mind, when we get that niggle, when we feel uncomfortable, that is something that is waking up. That is something that has been waiting for our recognition of it. And we start to turn ourselves and say, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know what that is. Ooh, I love that question, Spirit says. Okay. And so Spirit can move in with the power of the universe to begin to help us to reveal that beautiful true self. And this is from the Gospel of Thomas. For no one lights a lamp to set it under a bushel or to put it in a hidden place, but he sets it on a lampstand, that all who go in and come out may see its light. That is that precious masterpiece that you are. And when we begin to realize that we've got layers of masks and a beautiful collection that we can pull upon depending on the situation, we recognize that we have been hiding our true light. What we have been trying to portray is someone else's. And you can't do that. It's not yours. Only yours is the one that can truly be a light in the world. And so as we begin to recognize that we are somewhat covered and walking around the world somewhat inauthentic, and not in the yucky, bad way, right? Like, okay, I have to say this. Where we are right now with our masks and with our collections of masks and walking around the world and doing the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I think you like this one, I think you like that one, you are still God expressing. In the midst of that, you are still God expressing. You're not wrong. You're not bad. Even in our inauthenticity, we are moving through our lives in perfect time and in perfect order. You didn't miss a stop somewhere. You didn't take a wrong turn at Albuquerque. You're right on time. This is just our process of evolving through our lives. The process of us living and growing and becoming and moving and, oh my God, look what I just did for 50 years. That's okay. It's not a waste. God uses it all. So I want to anchor that, because I'm not saying that if we're walking around inauthentic, not engaging with our true selves, doesn't mean that we're wrong. It's just our journey. But what we want and what we're feeling in that niggle is that light that's wanting to come out through the cracks. There's a story of the golden Buddha. And there was a golden Buddha I don't remember the years because I threw this story out, but they're 1950 something. They were wanting to move a monastery. the Tibetan monks. And so these monks were taking and moving this monastery. Why you move a monastery, I'm not sure. I'm not from Tibet. I don't understand all of that. But they were moving a monastery, and there was this giant clay statue of the Buddha. And so they were taking that clay statue and they were moving it, and one of the monks noticed that there was this light that was coming out from one of the cracks. And so he took his little chisel and his little hammer and he started to chip away. And what they discovered over time is that that clay had been covering up a solid gold Buddha. A solid gold Buddha. They had covered it up because the monks at the time were fearing that they were going to be attacked, and they didn't want it to be taken. They didn't want it to be damaged. Well, in fact, they were attacked and they were slaughtered, and there was no one else who could remember that there was actually a golden Buddha under there. They forgot. Did it take away the nature of the golden Buddha? No. We just start to see the golden light that is shining within ourselves. And when it's time, we begin to chip away and reveal that beautiful golden essence, that masterpiece that we are. So this is the rediscovery. And our month's theme is cultivating authenticity, which I love. Cultivating authenticity. It's not like wham, bam, authenticity. Hit it and go authenticity. Instant authenticity. No, it is cultivating authenticity because we have been engaging in a way that is deeply sown into us. And not only that, but there are a lot of people that are perfectly happy with the way that we've been showing up all this time, right? So when we begin to tap, tap, tap away at that clay of the golden Buddha, some experience can be disruptive. The process can be disruptive. This is your warning. This is your warning, right? We are not in this philosophy because it's easy. This is a philosophy that requires work and courage and delving into the uncomfortable places. So it sounds really pretty sometimes, and it is, right? It is exciting for me, kind of person like me. I'm like, oh my God, let me dig in there and tear it up, and poof, my life burns up. But I'm the phoenix rising, so I just come back again. It can be disruptive. So just be aware. There are people who like you just the way you are. They're comfortable with it. You're familiar and comfortable with the way that you engage in your life from where you are right now. You're very comfortable. So this process of chipping away or of taking off the masks, what we are now doing is we are risking to face the reaction of other people, and we are risking to face our own experience of ourselves. I worked about a year and a half ago. I felt it was far enough for me to use it as an example. I was working about a year and a half ago with an organization that had a very lack mindset. And when I went to work there, they had these tiny monitors. Like, okay, maybe about that big. Well, I have challenges with my vision. I can't see very well. And when I went there, I realized that I needed to have a bigger monitor. I wasn't going to be able to see these tiny lines in the database that we used. And I was really working on being like, I'm moving into myself. I am taking care of myself. You ask for what you want, Yvette. And you celebrate the no's. You ask for what you want and need, and you love yourself through it. And so I did. I said, I really need monitors that are bigger than this. And I got pushback. Well, everybody else has these monitors. I understand that. And you've clearly had these since the 1980s. Well, they were actually flat, so whatever the first iteration of flat screen monitors. And I said, I understand that. And yet, to do my job, I really need to have, well, what size do you need? I'm like, I don't know, bigger than this one. They kept asking me, what size do I need? So I called the last place that I work, and I said, those monitors were fantastic. I mean, like, I had 3 panels. They were gigantic, if you want to ask me. So they gave me the size, and I told them, and they just, I said, you asked. I don't know. That's what I had at the last place. So these monitors show up, And I'm the only person in the entire, even the CEO has these really dinky monitors. I have this giant setup of 3 monitors and 1 for home. I asked for what I needed and I got it. And all of a sudden, I started to feel people looking at me and like glare. Oh, they walk by my, oh, that's nice. That's nice that you have those monitors. I'm like, I know, right? That's great. But I was like, oh, I broke the rules. And the IT guy, I would ask him to do something for me because some things weren't connected right, and he wouldn't respond. He wouldn't come over. And so I started to move into my old patterns of making up a story of what I thought he thought about me. And that was why he was engaging with me in that way. And I started to feel terrible. I started to feel like I was selfish again. I started to feel submissive again and apologize. Oh, I know they're big monitors. They're just like, I can't see. I have bad, and I'm sorry. But that's what I did. This is a process. Be patient with yourself. You will step into this beautiful authenticity, and then you will say, oh my God, and want to pull back because it's uncomfortable. Be patient with yourself. You're not a bad person, and they don't hate you. He didn't hate me. He was kind of an interesting fellow who didn't respond to a lot of people. Because when I talked to him in the break room, he was perfectly fine, and we chatted about my mom's pecan orchard, and it was and I was like, oh, I thought you hated me. I made it up. I was behaving and putting on a mask from a fantasy. When I think of that, it just gets me. We are breaking old habits, y'all. We are creating new norms and expectations for ourselves. And remember that this is a process and a practice. We are cultivating, we are growing. Brene Brown, again, says authenticity is not something we have or don't have. It's a practice, a conscious choice of how we want to live. Authenticity is a collection of choices. A collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. This is a process, my friends. And revealing your true self is and feels very vulnerable. It is. Hands down, but this is a process, and with every step that we take, we develop courage. You don't walk in like, how in the world am I going to do that? Of course you don't know how you're going to do that. You haven't built that muscle yet. You don't have the courage to just step out and take off all of the clay, throw away all the masks. We don't have that initially. We develop it as we go, one step at a time. And when we are vulnerable, remember this, when we are vulnerable, when we choose to be vulnerable, and I would highly recommend that we start doing that with people that we really love and trust and that we're closest to and that we feel like would accept that. It's a good place to start. But when we do that for ourselves, we invite other people into being their true selves as well. Isn't that the truth of all we do? When we shine our light, other people feel drawn to our light and like, hey, I've got a light somewhere. Where is that? Let me find it and let me shine it. We get to be that living example. I would just ask you to please just go as fast as the slowest part of yourself. Go as fast as the slowest part of yourself, because this is true and deep change. This isn't Arby's or McDonald's. This is true, deep change, not fast. When we move into this authentic expression more and more, when we feel our true connection to ourselves, to that God self that we are, we can experience love and compassion and connection and belonging and security and safety. It is that thing that we have longed for all our lives, but when we are authentic, we truly move into that. So I invite you this week to start to look at where you might be having a little party with your masks. Start to see if you can see a bit of gold shining through the clay of the covering that you have put on yourself? That's it. I'm not asking, don't start chipping, don't throw away your masks. Just start looking and ask, who is my true self here? And you may not know. That's the adventure. You will discover who you truly are. And so let's pray. And so as we have taken this time to move into that recognition of the divine, the power and presence of God that is moving through, in and as each of us, that has in the beginning, that has through all of our lives, through all of our incarnations, that power and presence of the divine has never left. It has always been present. It is in us. It is as us. It is through us. And that is true not only of ourselves, but in the world around us. That we are in a universe that is in a conspiracy for our good. And as we begin to ask questions, as we begin to open our minds to a bigger possibility, a fuller possibility, an authentic possibility of who we are, that universe rushes in to meet us, to support us, to love us. And so as I know that this is the truth of the divine presence of spirit that is moving and breathing each and every one of us, I know that there is an opening of mind and heart, that there is a revealing of that beautiful crack in the surface. And we can see that golden light within, the truth of who we are. And that we are held and supported every single step of the way, so that we may step forward into our lives as the fullest, most authentic expression of ourselves. Knowing that we are safe, knowing that we are whole, knowing that we belong. This is the truth of who we are, and for this remembering, for this opportunity to turn within and remember the wholeness of spirit that I am and that we each are, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for that knowing. I'm so grateful for that remembering. And from a space of absolute certainty, I surrender my word. I surrender it powerfully. I fling it into the law, knowing that it is made manifest now. Thank you, God. And so it is. The song is called This Is Me. I am no stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets. bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away today, 'cause I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's what we've become. So I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
Ooh, she gave me chills with that one. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you. Do you want your phone before you?
500 minutes later.
Yes. Wow. I just wanted to say thank you again for the different hats you wore. The music was perfect, and the talk was amazing. We've got to thank her again. Thank you so much. Thank you. What a message. I so appreciate that. And I would say she's already stepped into her authentic minister self. Yes? Oh, I heard a yes. Yes. And it's now that the letters have to catch up. Then she'll have them behind her name and all that. But right now, she's already there. I am so grateful. Thank you again for blessing us. And so now is the time that we consider what it is and where it is that we give back to this center, this place that supports amazing people like her to come talk to us. We just love that. And this month in March, we are tithing 10% of all that comes through the center to the action programs for animals. And the APA is a progressive animal welfare organization seeking to improve the quality of life for companion animals in the Doña Ana County area and greatly reduce the euthanasia at the municipal shelter. We are able to do this through the tireless volunteer work of our rescue and foster coordinators, foster families, and weekend adoptions. So 10% is going to support them in that process. We are a community here that I know loves to support many different areas within our larger community, and animals are dear to the hearts of many of us because we have our companion animals at home as well. So we're grateful to the work that they do. And so all that comes through is part of what blesses us as well, keeps the lights on, keeps us open, helps us to grow and serve this community. So let's just say our affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And we will sing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And we are so grateful for each one of you that showed up today after springing forward. I was totally confused. I forgot to change the clocks last night. My phone told me what time it was, and the other clocks were, oh yeah. This happened. So thank you all for showing up. Thank our music team for being here and supporting her. Thank you so much. It is fabulous to be part of this community. So let's stand as you are able, and we will sing our closing song, the peace song.